Hi, everybody. It's Wanda Baader here from Strategize Your Success. And today we're doing another episode of Market Appeal. And when I say we, I'm talking about myself and my great co-host, Robin Taney. Robin, please introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about your business.
Thanks, Wanda. Hi, everybody. I'm Robin Taney. I'm the Get Real Girl from Studio PR. And I work with small business owners and entrepreneurs to help them create PR strategies that are realistic, engaging, authentic, and long-lasting. In other words, they're real. And I'm delighted to be the sidekick for the next 30 minutes to share some great tips that we have for you.
Great, Robin. Well, we are on the Be Live platform, as you can probably see, and it is a beta platform, so there are some quirks with it that we've been trying to work with as well. So today, Robin is on via her cell phone versus the desktop, and I'm on desktop, but I just noticed, Robin, I'm not sure if it's coming across on the live, you're breaking up just a little bit on the volume, but maybe it's just because of bandwidth, so bear with us, please.
Yeah.
Well, let me introduce
I can hear feedback. I can hear myself talking back through your computer.
Okay. Well, luckily, I can't hear that. Hopefully, our guests won't either. But let me introduce myself. I'm Wanda Baader from Strategize Your Success. And what we do is we're a full-service marketing agency. So we do everything from the soup to the nuts. So if you need any help with your online marketing, we're your go-to person or people. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and start our show today. And what our show is all about is basically helping you to stay appealing within the marketplace by staying on top of what's happening out in marketing. And since so much of our marketing happens online, most of what we share happens to be online tips that we share every week with you. So what we're trying to do is, we know what it's like to be small business owners. We're trying to save you the time from having to go and read a whole bunch of different blog posts. We're sharing the highlight reel of what's happening this past week and what you need to know in order to stay competitive in the marketplace. So I'm going to start off today with my tidbit, and it's going to be coming from Google+. Yes. There's not been too much going on from the community that I've been seeing on updates, but today I do want to share something that sounds pretty exciting. So Google is, the big news is that they're going to start January 24th by adding events back into Google+. Woohoo! Yay! So I'm not sure how they're going to roll that out. There wasn't really too much information from them on that, so I guess we'll have to wait until January 24th to see that on our Google Plus pages. But they're doing that. They're also hiding lower quality comments from your posts. So if you have a very active post going, you're only going to see what they consider the most relevant comments. Not to say that you can't unhide the other comments and look at them. It's just that you're not going to see this whole slew of comments. They're just going to evaluate on which ones seem to be the most relevant. And again, I'm sure it's based on algorithms that they're doing this on. And they're adding a zoom feature to their photos on the web as well. So that sounds pretty cool. I mean, anything new like that is always a big plus as far as I'm concerned. And so if you are, it's like if you're a Google Plus person, even if it's not your most active platform, maybe it's time to go back and check it out. I used to love it when Google Hangouts was connected in with Google Plus, and now they've moved it over to YouTube. Which is, part of their suite of things that they have. But I kind of miss having it there. Not that you can't still connect and have private meetings, but you can't, the whole broadcasting live thing is kind of moved over to YouTube. Have you tried live streaming from YouTube yet, Robin?
No, I haven't. I'm excited to though.
Yeah, it's right now I can tell you it's a little bit intimidating because you have to download some software in order to make it work. It's not automatic like it used to be if you go through YouTube Live, but you can still do Google Hangouts there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I miss
So
Google Hangouts.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's nice. It's kind of, hopefully, eventually Facebook Live will also share the ability for us to do, PowerPoints or maybe share a screen or something like that. Because, that was the great thing about having the Hangouts is that you could do the PowerPoint presentations and really have a nice, event.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see what's going to roll out and what they'll allow us to do for this next phase.
Yeah, that's
going
to be awesome. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. So I know you have some a new tidbit for us as well. So go ahead and share.
I do. Well, mine is involving using social media emoji to the business. And emoji, as you know, are those cute little faces, happy faces, sad faces, and the crying faces. And it's what they're saying is that using emoji humanizes your business, and it's a fun and creative way to connect with your customers and show your personality. And if you remember last year before when Facebook introduced the additional emoji to the like instead of just the like button. Obviously, not everything is going to be something that you want to like. If you're doing something that's sad, you're going to liking the page. So businesses are using emojis to customers to respond to comments, convey a clear emotion, and to basically show customers that they care. So that is a really great way to be able to use, take advantage of the platform that it offers you. And on Twitter, instead of using those practice 140 characters to convey content, you can use an emoji that just one character. So I thought that was a cool thing. The emojis that Facebook offers, I personally think are really lame. So I recommend to thatemoji.com, and it's not an app. You can download it to your phone. And it's located right next to the keyboard. Or you can use that to insert ones into the social media platform choice. And then another one that I think is really cool is called Bitmoji. BITMOJI. And what that does is that you create a cartoon character that looks like you, and give it different outfits and facial expressions. If you want to send a birthday message or a thank you message, it creates a little graphic for you that looks like you're sending. So that's another cool way to really connect with customers and a little bit different.
So, Robin, are they saying that you can use these third-party applications? It sounds like they're are they just phone or are they desktop as well? And it's like, can you use them on Facebook? Can you use them on Facebook?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
It's just that there's emojis in Facebook. So if you click on their list of emojis, you can access them right away. The Get Emoji website has the cuter and more. There's more of them.
More variety.
And they're easily accessible by phone, so you can use them on Facebook, and Twitter, mobile. And I believe that you can use them on the desktop.
Okay. Well, that would be something to experiment with, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Cool. Okay. Well, my next tidbit is I'm going to share, when you make a post on your pages and then you go and you edit it, let's say on Facebook, we're talking about, you know how it leaves that this post has been edited in the past?
Yeah.
Well, Mashable is saying that they noticed recently that no longer exists, which is kind of good because, who wants people to know they edited? I mean, sometimes you write something, let's say on your cell phone, you have to go back later and edit it because it was a typo, because how it wants to auto-correct your spelling sometimes, and you have to go back and fix it. And it's just like, I never could figure out, why do they have that edited there? It's like, I know I edited it,
Right.
But apparently you can still go through, and view edit history to see if something has been edited. So let's say if you do have a team of people, if you, for some reason you wanted to see if a post was edited or not, you can still see it. But I personally don't know why I would even want to go back and do that. I just like the fact that it's corrected, period. It's like, why do I have to go back? But they're saying, Mashable says that Facebook hasn't commented on it, nor have they publicly said that they've taken that away from posts. So I haven't edited anything recently. Have you noticed it yourself, Robin? Have you noticed anything different?
Well, I have to say, first of all, one of my biggest pet peeves is when people will spell something wrong, and instead of editing it, in the next post they'll be like, I meant to say blah blah blah. I'm like, just edit it. Nobody has to know. So I wasn't looking for that, but I have noticed edited thing. But when I've edited my own stuff, I haven't noticed that it said that. So I'm wondering if it goes up. Like if I edited something, I wouldn't be able to see it, but you might be able to see it if you were looking at my newsfeed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But regardless, I'm glad. I think that everybody needs to use that feature if they don't already know that it exists, because it drives me crazy that. You heard
it, everybody. Please don't drive Robin crazy. Use the edit feature on Facebook and edit your posts. It's funny because, come to think of it, I don't think any of the other platforms show if you go back and edit something. It's like, I don't know why they ever had that there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think they do either.
Yeah.
Twitter might. I think Twitter does.
But they don't show that it that's been edited.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And, Twitter moves so fast. It's like, good grief, you might as well forget about the edit because, probably 20,000 tweets ago,
right,
by the time you go back and try to correct it. But, it does show up, of course, in your own Twitter profile. So you do want it to look good.
Right.
So, yep, interesting. So what else do you have to share, Robin?
So I have something that I think is going to be really, really useful, because as you and I both know, content is so important to being able to promote your business online, and good content, educational content, informative content is what people are really hungry for, and will is what will guarantee that you have visitors that will continue to come back to your pages. But good content is really it's hard to keep trying to come up with new and interesting and different stuff. So there is no rule that says that you can't repurpose your existing content. And there are so many ways that you can use it on another platform that is maybe has a whole different network of followers. And so you can really change it up. So you do not need to feel like you're, you know, reusing it in a way that is going to be duplicative, because you can change it up in ways that makes it really different. So I have 5 ways that you can repurpose your content on all the major social networks. So number 1 is to and in doing, before you actually do this, one of the things that you'd want to do is go into the stats for each of your social networks and really get familiar with what how to read them and which posts are the most engaging, which ones are you getting the most comments from, which are the most viewed, just so you have an idea of which content is really worth repurposing. So once you kind of have all that down, tip number 1 is to take a top Instagram photo and pin it on Pinterest. So that will help to drive more traffic to your website, because you can put a link in to the source, which hopefully is, if it's yours, is back to your website. So that is another way to draw new traffic to your page. And if it's something that's visual, Pinterest is a very visual platform, so all the better. Tip number 2 is to repurpose well-received tweets as a graphic. So if you've ever been on Twitter, and sometimes there is something that is so perfectly, it's like such a perfect quote or such a perfect statement or something that just really says it all in 140 characters or less, you can convert that into a graphic using, and there's a million of them out there, but you can use like canva.com, you can use quozio.com. I know there's like a million more.
Yeah.
And you create a graphic and it turns it into a JPEG, and then you just insert it like a photo, like you would a photo, and the statistics say that photos and videos are 52% more likely to garner page 1 in Google search results. So anytime that you can use a photo instead of text, you're guaranteeing that you're going to up your search results.
Absolutely.
So that's number 2. Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's number 2. And being able to then post those on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest is obviously another great way for you to reach out to those people. So number 3 is to turn standout Facebook posts into either blog posts or videos. So a lot of times, if you've ever seen somebody who writes a really well thought out either opinion piece or research as a Facebook post, and it gets a lot of dialogue, it gets a lot of comments, encourages discussion. This is a great way that you can actually use, turn it into a blog post or a video, even use some of the comments for the quotes, and be able to create an even bigger dialogue based on what your results were from the original post. So then tip number 4 is to compile favorite posts or stats into a SlideShare presentation. And if you're not familiar with SlideShare, it's kind of like the YouTube of presentations. So anytime
it's also part of LinkedIn.
Yes. So anytime if you've ever if you're looking for a particular topic on a presentation, you can go in and search it. You can post your presentations up there. It has 70 million users. So you have a great audience there. So even just doing posts or statistics is a great way to garner more traffic. And then the last one, tip number 5, is to pull popular tweets into a Twitter moment. Now, I don't know, Wanda, if you've heard about this, but Twitter rolled out the Twitter moment feature in October, and it didn't really get a whole lot of fanfare, but I guess now it's really kind of starting to gain some visibility. And basically what you do is you take maybe a collection of tweets or photos that have similarity and use it to tell a story. And you put it in the Twitter moment, and it creates kind of like a collage, if you will, that tells the story in one thing without you having to go back and, try to find all the original tweets. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing, and especially something that if a business wanted to use it to kind of highlight their past year or their past, a product launch or an event that they were at, it can be a great way to really kind of tell that story in one post as opposed to multiple posts.
Mm-hmm.
So, and those are my tips.
Okay. Well, and also, you can think about this with your web pages as well, your blog posts that you put out. Is that I always preach to people, if you're going to be a blogger, you need to put variety into your blogs, shake it up a bit. It's just like what they're saying, take something and repurpose it. So let's say if you have had very popular posts that people engage with, it's like I have a couple on my site that every single day I wrote it 2 years ago and I still get traffic every single day to these particular relevant things that people are still looking at. And, anything that you can do to encourage SEO engagement is always a positive. And so doing the social media, doing the blog posting, repurposing that content, and the same thing, you can take a blog post and make it into a slideshow. You can make it into a podcast. You can, take snippets of it and make it into numerous different posts for your social media. So yeah. repurpose. It's, you don't have to originate content that's brand spanking new all the time. And on another note, too, is that if you have an older blog post and you want to update it, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have something that, just needs a little tweaking and it's been super popular, but, maybe some parts of it aren't quite as relevant and there's maybe some new things that you want to add to it, go and revamp it. You don't have to
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I believe, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that if you just, that all you would have to do would be to change like a few words, like maybe the first sentence or so, and that boosts you back up to the top of the search results because it recognizes it as a new article.
Well, I would say that you probably want to refresh throughout your photos, the images that you use. And if you're not using images in your blogs, I would definitely recommend them. They call images eye candy for a reason because, people get bored. They need that break of reading and also, having that image helps them to have that break from reading to seeing something and then going back to reading. And sometimes those images also help to, concrete that thought into someone's head if you get a great image that works well with the article that you're writing. So, the rule is with Google loves fresh content.
Yep.
So I would say that you got to do a little bit more to really make it nice and refreshing. Yep. Not only to the people who are being drawn to the articles, but also to, your SEO and Google search.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Robin. That was some good information there. And, content is king.
That's right.
My next share is that Facebook is actually rolling out the ability to do Facebook Lives from your desktop without Be Live.
What?
Now, before you get too excited, unfortunately, it's not for everybody yet.
Oh.
Okay, but I foresee that anything that they do with people who have larger followings will trickle down to these small business owners like us. So yeah, they have actually shared several new tools and improvements that give publishers more control, customization, and flexibility over their broadcasts. But you have to have at least 5,000 people following your page for right now. So, and the other limitation is that you have to use it in Chrome. So if you're not embracing Chrome for one reason or another, I would suggest that maybe you do, because I know that there's a lot of things like Be Live, and now it looks like Facebook Live that are embracing Chrome. And it's, if you want things to work and, really get into some of these really new inventive ways of marketing your business, you gotta embrace Chrome along with it.
Yeah.
So sorry for all those people who are, really, loving some of the other platforms. Not to say you can't use them, but maybe when you just do a particular thing, you can move over, just to do your broadcasts on Chrome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's exciting because it's like, Facebook will just keep improving these Facebook Live options for us. And, for those people who loved Blab IM, which I was a big fan of, I don't know about you, Robin, did you love it?
Yeah, I did like it. But there's so many options out there that it's hard to get really tied to one thing, because there's so many different, if you want it to be like a hangout, if you want it to have chat features, if you want people to be able to raise their hand, if you want to be doing a PowerPoint, there's so many different things that I think a lot of people just get totally overwhelmed, and they either end up using the same thing, or they don't even go down that path because they don't know how to use it. So it's kind of that you have to be willing to at least take a chance at giving it a try.
And like I always preach to everybody, it's like, no, you don't have to do it all. But if you love presenting live to people and doing live streaming, there's always, like you said, there's new things that are always on the horizon. Unfortunately, Blab IM went away because Facebook Live, I think, was going to be too much of a competitor for them. Yep. And, they were in beta, just like Be Live is in beta as well. And it's like, I'm enjoying this platform, but I can't wait to see how much more Be Live also adds to it, because there are extremely limiting features here for us to be able to broadcast. But just being able to broadcast off desktop is awesome for me, because you can't always do live streaming off of the phone unless you're in an area that has good availability for that. And like we talked about in our last show, now Facebook is making it easy for people to do more of like a podcast. Just doing the audio version of doing a Facebook Live versus doing the video, because it just takes so much bandwidth and connectivity, good connectivity in order to be there. And if you're in a rural area, it might not necessarily work, out so great. So desktop is the way to go, because you have internet connection also kind of makes it all happen, the best case scenario. So I guess that's our show for today. We hope that you found this helpful, right, Robin?
Absolutely. Send us your ideas and questions.
Yeah. And what I would encourage you to do, Robin, is go back on the post and also type in maybe those emoji app websites that people can go to, so that if they do want to try that out, they can do so. I know, again, the limiting part is we can write and do certain things on here. I can, but Robin can't, because on the host, she again, MD Live has only a certain amount of limitations. So it's hopefully will grow so that we can offer more to you as well, like bringing on, live questions and all that kind of jazz. So that's what I liked about Blab I Am. I like the fact that you could, draw people into the conversation, because Robin and I love to chat, as you can tell, and chatting with somebody live is always going to be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So, like Robin said, if you have any questions, leave them for us on the Facebook Live post, and we'll get back to you on that. And we thank you again, whether you're watching us live or on the replay. We appreciate our audience, and if there's anything that we can bring to you that you would like to hear about, let us know.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.